Match number 3 of the day for the Alpha stream. Once again, my name is Seymour alongside me, Cruz. We're here to bring you the lower semifinals between Eagles COD, or Eagles Esports, and St. Edward's University Blue. St. Edward's bouncing back from a Game 5, battling their way here now to a rematch against Eagles Esports. Jesse, talk to me a little bit about this head-to-head.
Yeah, so I mean, these two teams, they obviously played in winners round 1 of the bracket play, and it was a very dominant victory for SEU Blue. I mean, they not only dominated, but it was more so just the respawn domination. They won all 3 hard points in the series. Eagles COD, they were able to take one map though. They did take that search and destroy. It was a bocage search and destroy. They took 6-4, but it was a Tuscan hard point. They beat 250 to 104, a bocage hard point 250-55, and a Berlin hard point 250-109, and that is just pure dominance right there if you're SC Blue. Yeah,
and now you're going into this with the improved scoreline from yesterday, looking like SEU have kind of figured things out on their search to destroy. They looked good today, even in that Game 5 that they lost earlier to ASU Maroon. And if they can go head-to-head with a team like that, I think if you're looking at somebody to improve, it has to be Eagles Esports right now, because those hard points, you said it yourself, they were dominant. And unlike the first match that you guys had together, this one's an elimination match. Out of the CCL Vanguard Open, out of the prize pool, this is a money match right now. This is for your chance to make it to top 3.
And speaking of rematches as well, SEU Blue, not only is this a rematch, but if they win this match, they then get a rematch against ASU Maroon, and you know they want that rematch as well. So they're going to be coming into this firing on all cylinders to go up against this Eagles Esports team.
I think it goes both ways on that one. You love a good grudge match. You love a good revenge story. And I think Eagles Esports, they got to bring their all right now to take down SEU Blue, a team that is hot right now and only getting better as their series just go on now. We got the maps to look at right now, and we're going to be starting off again on Berlin Hardpoint for that map number 1. And this is where we're going to go. Let's get right into it. Let's cut the chit-chat. Berlin at Hardpoint, you know the deal. We just saw it earlier in our last matchup between Braves and ASU. Eagles get the preferred spawn to get this early contestation in, but SEU looking for the break.
They absolutely are, but if the Eagles can really start to hold on to this and try to zone them out, this is where the Eagles can build a good chunk of time off the start of this game. But right now, it looks all SEU in the kill feed as they're really starting to bring their way back in, and not only that, they're already inside the hill.
Relk finds 2, Crook closes off the 3rd one, and now flipping them back into that 3rd hard point spawn. You're looking to get that over-aggression for player number 6, Tastin. Coming in through the side door. He is going to hop in for the connection. Can he find any kills? He finds 1 before falling. Allows Suzuki to get the kill onto Crook, but still time to SEU. They take a lead of their own now and flip them out. So first people at the hill too are going to be SEU Blue.
And we saw in our last series, teams were dominating on this hill, finding full 60 after full 60. So maybe a possible money hill here in the CCL. I haven't really seen it too much in professional play be that strong of a hill, but so far in CCL, it has definitely been a hill where we've seen teams be able to find a good amount of time on.
Yeah, Thresh coming out underneath. Looking to hold off this line while his team soaks up the hill. Here comes the break. Walks right into the hands, right into the crosshairs of Thresh. That's 2 in a row. Make it 3 down for GSU. And Eagles Esports, they are falling right now on Berlin so early into the game as well.
It's a great start for SEU, though. And the 6-3 for Relic off the rip.
7.
Make that 7 in a row now. And you can see Eagles Esports, they want no part of trying to hit towards this hill again. They want to just make this full rotation over towards our broken building, towards this P3 hill. But they might just get pinched here by these SEU players.
Yeah, they are turtling right now. They're just looking to hit the fat regain right now. Susie finds 1 of the Eons. Here comes the break. 3 in a row. Relic finds 2. And now they're into this hill. 9 spree for Relic. Can he make it 10? Yes, he can. And the spawn's still coming out for Eagles. They're going to be in the back line. They're going to be able to reinforce this hill, but he's still going, Jesse. That's 12 in a row. This guy's on fire right now.
Still spawning in the back is Eagles Esports as well, but I think the big question right now in this match is Relic going to die at some point? I think that's our main focus. He's even playing the hill at the moment. This guy's doing it all.
He really is. He's got full streaks, beyond full streaks. And now looking to soak up the objective. The contention comes in. Can he make it 13? There it is. 14 on the side. right to his left is Suzy Q, and nobody's even paying attention. He's got good help, so he's still
Oh my God.
13-0. And take a look at the minimap. They're giving it up. They're still spawning over at Shrieks, but now comes the Shrieks of their own. SEU Blue looking to carry this on and steamroll their way over to the trains.
And the streak usage is perfect as well, because now you get all that information for your two teammates that are down there. I don't think that they're going to realize, though, that everybody just spawned up on the one teammate that was there for Eagles Esports. So get a little bit blessed with the spawn. They can try to break back into it. And finally, the Superman himself, Relic, will fall at 15-0.
I mean, that's tippable. 15-1. 15 in a row before falling. 142 to 15. Eagles are going through it all right now. Crook lining him up as they flood on into his crosshairs. You are going to get team kill as well, not making that any easier from Kylea. As now look how far Eagles Esports are going to be spawning out from this whole thing. They have to traverse all throughout this map just to get a contention in, just to maybe break this SEU Blue team test, and finally going to split this kill feed, find an opening, but still 10 seconds left. It's not even worth it to fight this hill.
No, not at all. And we're heading towards a very scrappy hill as this next hill, and this is definitely one where I think that the players on SEU, and I was going to say I think the Streaks could come in, and that's Relic's. I believe that was the shooter, the shooter pilot coming in over the top. I can't remember what the streak is exactly called, but the strafing run, that's what it's called. I believe I heard it coming in. The shooter pilot. You know what? Don't at me, all right?
Well, it was a great usage of the shooter pilot indeed, Jesse. So 180 to 20, no complaints from SEU. Finally, Eagles are getting some time under their belts right now on this hill 5. Better late than never into it. The crossfire is good, but Detroit's still favoring SEU to get back into this hill. Suzy Q, 8 at 17. Very uncharacteristic from this player. Usually one that you keep your eyes on, because he has had really good storylines throughout the CCL so far, and he's in a good position to find them as they rotate. But this is going to be a hard one for Eagles to claw their way back into it. They need to start now, and they relatively can't really give anything else up to this SEU Blue squad.
Yeah, and spawning fire, they're going to have a really, really close ability to be able to push in and fight in towards this P1 hill inside of offices. And it's just Testin who's left alive here. One player is flanking, though, so Choppas might have something to say about it.
Ooh, Choppas finds 2. 4 down again for SEU Blue. They're going to be spawning back into that hill 3 area, so they're going to be able to get right back into the mix in a matter of seconds. But that automaton is ripping them as they cross. Choppa holding the close angle is going to deal the damage so that Suzy Q can close this one out. You have to pinch on out. Thresh finds 2, and oh, that's the break. 3 in a row. What a play from the LatAm Phenom himself.
Yeah, Thresh really popping off here in this series right now. I mean, maybe not to the level that Relic was off the start, going what was it, 15-0 to start this game off. I mean, actually, I guess Relic's kind of slowed down since then, with only going 3-7 since that 15-0. But it doesn't really matter at the moment. They are just continuing to really put on a dominant performance here for SEU Blue. But Eagles are starting to claw their way back into this. They found 63 points now, but this was the hill that really started it all in the last set of rotations.
It's the small wins that you're looking for right now. Choppa's in the midst of shark-infested waters. He is going to fall as SEU close out and find the kill. So looking for the break immediately. 220 on the board. SEU, they can close it out right here. So Eagles Esports, they cannot give this up. Into the hill. They're going to trade this one out. Finally have a break, but it's still going to be contested. Crook from the top ropes. He gets 2 in a row. The break back in, and SEU Blue, they still can close this out, Jesse.
They absolutely can close this out here. There'll be one more hit coming in from the front for the Eagles Esports players, but I just don't think it's going to be enough, and not unless they find every player here on the likes of SEU.
They're still slaying the lanes. Player number 7 is the closest, and now that he falls, it seems all but over right now. SEU Blue put on a clinic in the lower semifinals, 250 to 68. They're trying to speed run their way right now into the lower finals.
Yeah, that is a rough loss. Not one that you want to see here for those Eagles players, but one that absolutely comes through. SEU just looked fantastic in that map 1. And I mean, the last time they played Berlin Hardpoint, it was a 250 to 109 win. But this time they say, hey, you know what? Let's one up ourselves. Let's throw them in the 70-point club. 250 to 68 final here for SEU Blue, and then heading towards Demiansk, search and destroy. I mean, we've seen SEU lose this match once. already today. And we also saw that in the first time these two teams played, it was the likes of Eagles Esports that were able to take the search and destroy. So they're definitely not out of this series. They can definitely pull away a search and destroy here.
No, and honestly, like I said, hats off to SEU. They definitely look like they've shaken off the tournament nerves. They're into day 2 now, looking for fire right now. They have the winnings in their eyes right now. They have their eyes on the prize, Jesse. That's what I was looking for, right? In the words, pardon. And coming out with this win now, 100-point club into map number 1. You look at Search and Destroy as Eagles Esports' chance to bring this one back, but even just looking at this team from SEU Blue and showing their growth from day 1 to day 2, now that that's tournament nerves are kind of shaken off from them later on into the bracket, you have to be worried about this Search and Destroy. If Eagles Esports need to pull this one back, they need to start working as a team a lot more.
Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, they already have the experience of taking a search and destroy off of SEU Blue. And I mean, if I remember correctly, it wasn't a super close search and destroy. It was on Bacage. It was a 6-4 win, and we've actually already seen SEU lose this map today as well on Demyansk to the same team. So I mean, it's definitely possible. I can see the Eagles taking this map. It's the nail in the side of SEU right now seems to be their search and destroy. It was the reason they didn't win that winter semifinal matchup against ASU was because they dropped both S&Ds to that team. So it's definitely possible. Eagles COD, I'm not counting them out of this one yet. I think they can still bring this one back yet.
I mean, yeah, you lose both S&Ds to ASU, but ASU also they took the Braves Esports all the way through the distance on a Demyansk search and destroy. So when you're pushing them to a round 11 and a round 10 inside search and destroy, you have to be looking at SEU Blue like that is not a bad scoreline when you're looking at kind of relatively against their opponents. So against a team like Eagles Esports, yeah, they do have the experience taking down a search and destroy on SEU Blue, but now getting a 100-point club on Berlin. Can they mentally bounce back from that? That's the biggest question, I'd say.
I mean, I think the other big thing right now is that their first 2 matches through the losers bracket were both forfeit wins as well. That's what it looks like, at least when I'm looking over at the bracket right now. So maybe Eagles just came into this one really cold. They started to heat up through the second set of the rotations. They were playing a little bit better. So, I mean, maybe they're coming in a little bit hotter here, coming into this matchup against SEU. Now that they've gotten a map under their belt, I've still got my money on Eagles. I think they can take this search and destroy.
Well, you know what? Let's put that money where the mouth is, because we have Demyansk loading on in map number 2. Can Eagles bounce back as we've set up? Is it going to be a big one, because the hard points are definitely going to struggle? Let's hop over to the forests. Let's take a look at what we're going to get.
It's going to be an instant hit out towards this B Street. And all these Eagles players, you can see they've got one set up underneath the bridge in Choppas. He's watching this bomb. He knows nobody's crossed over just quite yet, and he might just give the go-ahead to the rest of his team and tell Teston, hey, push up, try to get this one. It will probably be a one-on-one on site.
Very slow out here. Eagles fishing for a mistake, but nothing really presenting itself. Shots traded back and forth. Teston's going to be the first one down. That smoke helping out SEU at kind of hovering around the edge of it. That's bomb going to be down as well. So to make matters worse, oh, the nade spam!
Wow. That's a great first round from SEU. They don't get over aggressive through the middle of the map. Nothing really too much from themselves, and they just kind of sit back on this church. And because of how slow Eagles chose to play that, once they got down to crunch time and they needed to move up and try to get a bomb down, SEU was sitting there licking their lips on head glitches and just said, hey, we'll see you later.
Deer in the headlights. That's what it was looking like in round number 1. They didn't know how to approach after losing that first blood, and just sitting there, those nades chipped away player to player. Hopping into round number 2, though, Eagles now a chance to show their strengths on defense. Oh, that's such a ratty angle. Barely sneaking away is Susie Q. Choppas is a big first blood, taking down Thresh. With the bomb not going to slow down whatsoever for SEU Blue. Still present in the middle of the map, but both players strongly disconnected away from the bomb.
Crux going to try to take a one-on-one here, but Susie Q finds another kill. So it's going to completely stop anything that SEU is trying to do on that right-hand side of the map. And now Relic with the bomb in hand. He's going to try to just get this bomb up into Church. He'll get caught out as well. 1 versus 4 now for Eons. Definitely not in a great spot.
I feel like SEU are just walking into these gunfights with their back turned to each player that we just had. Yeah, I mean, they're being proactive. They're making moves, but it's just not the right moves. Eagles have a flawless round number 2 to pull things back and tie us up. And they looked great there.
It honestly kind of felt like the Eagles offense there. Both teams just not being very aggressive on offense, really trying to, or really being able to find a way out of the sights right now to find an opening. I feel like you need to kind of be decisive on this map to pick which site you want to go to. Be very decisive with it. Go towards that site. Find those opening bloods. Get that bomb down. Because right now, both teams just giving up a lot of map control to the defensive team, and it's just not really working out in their favor at all right now.
Let's see if they can string together 2 here, Jesse. The bomb once again heading over to the B side. Still very patient, very passive out of the objective. Finally going to throw some shots down, but that is bomb out of the hands now of Eagles COD. Ralph's going to drop first blood. Thresh has the sights on that rotation out through Lake, but that's not where the action is going to be happening. Eons, and just once again, just standing tall. Thresh is going to strike from behind. That already tagged up Eons is going to be sent to the Shadow Realm. Now 2v4. Nothing you can really do here for Eagles Sports. You have to get that bomb, take these gunfights, and already down 2 players. It's so out of their hands, but that's one way to bring this back. 3 in a row out of the 3 of them. Ralph now stuck between a rock and a hard place, but he might have just found the perfect timing. Shots are shaky. Still walks away one-on-one on the chase. 5 HP. Has the knife. Goes with the stab, but he's going to miss it. Oh!
I thought he was about to world star him with the knife there. I was about to lose my actual mind there, Colin, but not able to get it done. I honestly don't know how he missed that knife. That's actually so unfortunate for him. But the kill comes through. They get it done at the end of the day. And that's going to be the Eagles finding their second round in a row to take up a 2-1 lead here. And a much better looking defense there. I mean, it didn't look like it off the rip, but when they found those 3 in a row through the middle of the map, a 2v4 is what it ended up being in that round.
That was so bold. Well, look at the aggression out here. Suzuki has to be careful because SEU, they are no stranger to that fight across bridge. Constantly finding first bloods in that angle. I want to keep my eyes on player number 1.
A double nade found the first blood there. Great play from Tesson and the other player that's over there on top of the church.
Well, Kylea was able to find the trade out on the outside again. Gonna strike this time onto Eons. Puts themselves at that player advantage. 3v2. The defenders looking good so far in Demyansk. Thresh has found himself onto the roof, but again, Choppa's waiting in line for that aggression to come through. Puts Relic in a 1v3. Bomb in hand, gives himself away, and now it's just Eagles Esports to lock this down. Play as a 1v3, play as a core trio, and find a tie game once more. The Sun's going to give it away. They know just exactly where Relic is going to be standing. 29 seconds, peeks on out, and there he goes.
Pretty sure there's like a grenade waiting for him, too, if he stayed in that position for just that little bit longer as well. And yeah, Eagles Esports come away with another round victory there. Exactly what you need to see out of these guys. They're doing what they need to do in these rounds. They're really just kind of slowing it down, waiting for a mistake to come in from SEU, and they're taking full advantage of it, getting the man advantage. And once they're in that man advantage, just playing that pack of dog mentality, getting all the trades they need, and just winning the rounds. It's as simple as that. We see it all the time in Search and Destroy, but it's exactly what you need to do to win some big games. And now Eagles, looks like they're going to get very aggressive underneath the bridge here. They might be able to catch somebody off guard.
Wow.
Excuse
me? Okay. Headshot multiplier?
Thresh?
Oh, the trade coming through. Choppa splits through the middle. Finds the trade, so Thresh is going to drop after that one, but oh my. I'm speechless.
Thresh or Thanos? He snapped and that player was gone.
I see how you get mixed up.
They both start with T. They're both 6 letters long. I mean, it happens.
Oh my! Maybe it's just SEU with these SCGs. They're snapping right now. Choppa's keeping his team in this. Another trade on out. That's 4 in a row. Making a glide bomb. As he pulled his team right back into a 2v1. Eon's last alive all the way deep into the gully. Kylea might get some good timing here. No.
Oh, he did.
Bad timing. Eons has slipped through the cracks, Jesse.
That might work out perfectly for him unless he has to bust through a door. And actually, Choppa's watching the perfect door. Chop was on 5 in a row, so he found that glide bomb as well, which could be very effective in later rounds.
Well, Kailea goes for the adjustment. Takes the one-on-one now, but is going to put his teammate Chapas in a bad situation, but he makes it even better by playing so sneaky behind the door. That's 3 rounds now to Eagle Esports, pushed to 4. As we get to see that again, and Chapas 7-2 into this round. He has just given himself a shooting pilot.
I hate you so much. And I mean, I can't even deal with you right now. But
no, it's the strafing run, and we both know that.
No, apparently I do not know that. It is a shooting pilot that is forever what it will be known as from this point on during CCL broadcasts. But I mean, nonetheless, SEU, they will find the first blood here, but 4 rounds in a row to Eagles COD, and really they've just done a great job to pull this game into their favor.
I can see why they found that search and destroy the last time these two teams met up against each other. Kailea going to be caught on an island, and Eons opens up with 2, completely opening up the A site, susceptible for a plant, but they're going to go for the kills. Choppa's now alone over in the gully, 31 HP, and oh, this is so smart. Getting to the A site before they even realize it.
I feel like if there's one player you want left alive as well, it's this Choppa's player right now.
Bomb down. It's a 1v1. Ring around the rosy right now with this player and doesn't know this bomb is going to be down. Eons is going to collect that now and make a run, but Choppa's heavy on his tail, looking to send his team to map point. But Eons is just finessing his way around, finding the perfect timing with this bomb now back to A to get it down.
That is a wild rotation from Eons to make the full wrap through B over towards A. It might actually wrap back into B right now. But no, he will decide on an A plant. And now Choppa's, he seems to be the wiser to it. And he's going to try to get over and get it down.
Oh, I mean, he knows.
So many angles in here to check.
He knows. He saw the slide going into Eons, and he wins it. The Iceman. Eons gives SEU their second round.
They got a lot more dangerous than they wanted it to, but now that is just a clutch and a half. That was a 1v3, wasn't it, at the end of that?
Honestly,
I believe it was.
I think it was at least a.
It was a 1v2 for sure.
It was close. It was a 1v2. I knew that. Yeah, 100%. But Choppa's making it as close as it possible.
And now Testin finds that opening kill over towards the B site. And here comes the glide bomb. This was the same strat that we saw Arizona State do constantly to this SEU team once they found streaks. They use the streaks to clear out B. They get the bomb down over at the B site. And now Kruk in a 1v4. I mean, it's just a tough spot to be in.
Oh, finds 2. Actually going to be in a good position to fight Choppas. Is he going to be ready for the early gunfight? He's going to pre-fire it, but no, Choppas finds the win again. Takes his team to map point.
Can we start to call Choppa's the S&D star yet? Because I mean, he is pretty much single-handedly winning this game right now for Eagles. Yes, he's had a good supporting cast throughout this one, but 11-3 full streaks, almost wins the 1v1 in the last round. Will win a 1v1 there. Just unreal stuff coming out of him right now. Looks like the bomb this time. Heading over towards the A side. We haven't really seen SEU hit towards the site right now, but the B site really isn't an option with all the streaks on the side of the Eagles.
A stun kill onto Suzy Q. Testin looking to claw his way back, but caught in a very unfortunate situation. Thresh finds 2 in a row, and that is going to put Kailea all alone. Is able to find 2. Making this interesting. A third! 1v1 now, bombs down. You got Eons right on it. No, Kruk right on it. SEU almost throw away the round, but just barely scraping away. What was that, Kailea? That is illegal.
That would have been a 1v4, another 1v4 in CCL. That's what that would have been. Absolutely unreal scenes right now. And I mean, I said it earlier, but with the time to kill in this game, man, it just feels like 1v4s are going to be more and more possible as this year comes along. The
I mean,
trades, they just aren't always there, and because of how fast the TTK is, you could just find yourself dropping players, and especially if they stack, I mean, it's going to be easy to get a couple kills in succession sometimes.
especially if they're standing in the open like they were just now. Oh, Tessin's making a play. He's gonna find Relic in behind. That's first blood, opening up the map for Eagles Esports. Can they close this out here and tie up the series? Tessin a second one. 4v2 now. Bomb can go down at B. That forces SEU now to make a play, Jesse, to insert themselves into this round. And it might be here. Chop is
but
gonna be
Kruk
spotted.
has
Getting
utility.
that down. Oh, this nade's gonna be good. The cook, the nade, but no kill. Bomb gets planted. Crook looking to slip through this armor, but they are hunting him. They know exactly where he is. 1v3 for Eons. Can he do it again right now? To keep his team alive, you got Shrieks, you got the bomb. You got so much in your hands if you're Eagle Esports, and Eons just doesn't know where to look. 6-3, Eagles tie us up.
I was really waiting for you to say that they had the shooter pilot up in the sky at the end of that.
I think I said enough.
But yeah, nonetheless, a great victory there for the likes of the Eagles COD, and they come out on top once again in the search and destroy over SEU. That's twice, and I mean, if the series has anything to say about it, from what we've seen the first time that these two teams played, then Eagles Esports, man, they need to take a hard point if they want to win this series, because clearly they have SEU's number in the search.
And yeah, we're going into a map 3.
I believe it's Berlin again.
Back to Berlin, that they just got smoked on.
Absolutely ran through.
Like it wasn't even close. So let's see if they can ride the momentum of a search and destroy, because this is going to be a tough map 3 to go into. Now that Eagles Esports, you said it yourself. I mean, they were a little bit warmed up towards the second half of that Berlin. Does it really solidify this? That I mean, it does for me, that we're going to see a different Berlin, but is it enough for them to find a hard point? It's going to have to be up to the slang right now, because SEU were dominating them in that hand.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that it will definitely help. I think we'll see a closer score line here. The first time these two teams played Berlin Hardpoint, it was still almost a 100-point club. It was 250 to 109. So if I'm being completely honest, I don't think we're going to see a different outcome from this map. I do think that SEU Blue should be able to take it again. But in terms of Eagles Esports making this a lot closer of a game, I think it will be. And I don't think we're going to get another 100-point club here.
Well, what are we going to be looking at, though, for this map? If we're going back to Berlin and you talk about how this map flows as a hard point, talk about things that you can switch up in this. If you are the Eagles, maybe you're looking at maps to change, like certain hills to rotate to earlier, or like what do you want to see out of the Eagles here into the hard point to really push SEU back against the wall?
I really think it comes down to P4. I think that was their biggest weakness against SEU. I think they need to get an early rotation and an early setup on that P4 hill to really kind of solidify and lock down a lot of time. And if they don't, I mean, I know I said at the start of today that I really didn't think that. I'm so sorry. I'm looking at the wrong map. I'm talking about P2. I think that the P2 hill was really where they were struggling, was on Berlin, was on that mailroom hill. And I know at the start of the day I was looking at that, and I really didn't think it was going to be much of a money hill here in CCL, but it really has been today. Every team that we've seen play on this map mode combo has turned P2 into a money hill. So I fully expect to see the same thing here on Berlin once again. If they can find a way to lock down either P2, P3, or P4, I think they need to lock down 2 of those 3 hills, but if they can find a way to do that, that's how they bring themselves back to this series.
I feel like it's kind of more so reading the room as well, Jesse, because inside of that last time when they were fighting the offices, they just kept on hitting it again and again and again, and just kind of running their head against the wall until hoping that something would break, and it just didn't happen. And by the time that they started to get some presence into that hill, it was too late, and that's what's going to force SEU then to rotate earlier to get that office or to get into that mail room to lock it down for the full 60. So I think that if Eagles really kind of need to switch something up to make it happen, they just got to read the room and realize if it's necessary to keep hitting that hill or rotate.
I mean, one thing for certain, let's just not allow who was it?
Oh, yeah, Relk.
Relk. Let's just not allow Relk to start the game 15-0 as well. That might be a good place to start.
That can't happen. That was a once in a while thing. I mean, yeah, Relk could do it again. I mean, he's nuts, but for this Eagles roster, I'm sure that they have some things in place right now that they've talked about it. They're just okay, like Relk, look at that guy, make sure that he just doesn't pop off like he doesn't again. You have to shut him down early. You can't allow him to pop off that way. I mean, 15-0, that's disgusting. That's unheard of.
Absolutely. And I mean, even the first series that we watched today, when SEU took on ASU, who was the player that was struggling? It was Kruk, who was really not having a great first time. But now, I mean, he looks like he's warmed up today too. He looked fantastic in that first game. Not so great in that second game as well. But maybe here in this map number 3, when we replay this Berlin hardpoint, maybe he might be able to pull, or maybe Eagles might be able to find a way to shut him down. And if they do, then that's when they can really, you know, kind of dominate and come back into this.
Yes, it is. We got a lot on the line now. Eagles Esports, they forced a map 4, so they will have another chance at hardpoint, exactly like we saw earlier into the bracket between these two teams the first time they went up against each other. But this time there's a lot more on the line right now, because this is an elimination game, and the player who wins, or the team that wins this, they get to move on to the lower finals and have a chance at fighting into that 3rd place spot to make sure that they can, or they're going to go into there to make sure that they can lock down 3rd place in general, Jesse, so that they can get that cash prize at the end of it.
Well, this for sure is to lock down 3rd place. If you win this match, you get into there, you get to lock down that 3rd place. That's money as well. That is a good chunk of money, and definitely money that you want to come away with here. So Eagles, they're getting a good chance to be able to do it. They win the search and destroy. It just comes down to Berlin or Bacage hardpoint. If they can take one of these 2 maps, there is no reason in my mind that they can't take that 4th map on Bacage search and destroy, a map that they've already beaten SEU on in this same tournament 6-4.
Yeah, and it's rematch after rematch after rematch, because, I mean, well, for SEU, it's just rematch after rematch right now, because you got Eagles Esports and ASU Maroon, and these are 2 teams that, in your eyes, very winnable for them, so they can walk away in a good fashion with this series against Eagles Esports. You have to be looking that they're about to take the fight to ASU Maroon again for the 2nd time around. And with the last 4 teams, you got Ottawa Braves, ASU Maroon, Eagles Esports, and SEU Blue. This couldn't be any closer now, being 1-1 in the winner's semifinals.
And ASU Maroon is looking like a team that wants to take on that Braves roster again. So, I mean, even if you're SEU and you win this series, then you take on the Eagles in the 2nd round. That is not and then you take on ASU again in the next round. I do not think that is going to be a fun time to go up against that team, because they look very driven to take on the Braves. And I think they could take the fight to the Braves in the grand finals if they make it back there. It's just, they played them once, they've lost to them once. How do they learn from that mistake? And then how do they bring those mistakes into a better light to be able to take on them? Because as that series went along, like even the 2nd hard point that we saw, ASU looked significantly better in the 2nd hard point than they did in the 1st hard point against Ottawa. So we'll see, man. I mean, it's not saying that ASU is going to be the team to make it back there, but I mean, if they do, I think they absolutely could take the fight to Ottawa.
And folks, if you're just tuning in again for the CCL Vanguard Open, this is the winners or the losers semifinal matchup inside the last 4 teams between St. Edward's University Blue and Eagles Esports. An elimination match right now, and this is a chance to solidify yourselves at least $250 cash prize to walk away with after that losers finals coming up next. But I know that all these players, they want that big cash prize over the horizon. So let's take a look over here at Gavutu. Let's take a look exactly what we're going to see out of these 2 teams. I know we talked about Berlin and a rematch after that map number 1, but it looks like we're taking a little bit of a vacation to the islands of Gavatu.
So, I mean, what must have happened there? And if you guys aren't aware with how the CCL tournament is being run right now, is they have a preset map set for every single round of the tournament. And so it was preset that they were going to be playing a double Berlin in this series, but if both teams agreed to play on a different map, then that is the map that we go to. So Gavatu must have been the map that was agreed upon by the 2 teams to be able to play. But much the same of map number 1, we're seeing a very good lead for SEU Blue right off the rip. And Colin, I will say this is the only map actually that these 2 teams haven't already played each other on in this tournament for hardpoint.
So it is a question mark. Eagles looking to lock down the boat. 43 seconds after Hill 1. What a big chunk already in their hands now, looking to siege out this boat. Already finding the first one. Kylie is going to trade this one out. Crook keeping their team in it alongside Round, but finally Eagles Esports, they combined 2 in a row. They shut down this first wave of attack, and SEU are going to have to go back to the drawing boards to find themselves back in this again.
They absolutely are. You have to deal with Sussy Q up top, just kind of raining down fire right now. This is the best we've seen Eagles COD look on a single hill so far throughout any hard point. So clearly getting what they wanted going to Gava 2, and this might just be their chance to be able to bring this game back and force us into a game 4, into a search and destroy where, I mean, let's be honest, with how their search and destroy has looked, I feel like they're in the advantage there.
Well, a lot better this time around. 53 the other way. SEU, who started off with almost a full 40, or well for a full 40 off that hill 1, answered back by 53 unanswered points in hill number 2 from the likes of Eagles Esports. And they're going to be the first ones on rotation as well to the west side beach, but a lot of kills now favoring SEU as they are going to be looking to get into this one on the brink, though. 45 seconds into this hill. It's popped up, still left on top of that. Crook watching the cross. He's got 2 in a row. Looking for third around the corner. There it is. 3 in a row. He's actually had 5 in a row right now. He's got a glide bomb, Jesse, already into the 3rd hill of this map.
And West Beach is an interesting one because both teams really get a good chance of being able to hold onto this hill. It just really kind of depends on where you are coming off of and where you're spawning at, because both teams kind of spawn up close to it. And you can see it just seems like the left side kind of gets a little bit more of a favor, though. We've seen it in our last series. We're seeing it again here, but SEU, even without close spawns, able to reinforce that hills constantly and being able to kind of come away with the majority of the time here. And they're going to be the first team as well towards our next hard point, towards the radar station, which absolutely could turn into a money hill.
Relk is 6-0 again. How did this slip under the radar? How does this happen? He's got 7 in a row now. That's the strafing run going to be in his back pocket as his team now working off the spawns from the Arch Rock, looking to get into the hill like it's nothing. Tastin taking a little bit of heat. Pressure off that head glitch. Relk's into the mix. 4 down again. Kailea off spawn. Backed up now to the Arch Rocks for themselves. It's flipped on a dime now. Eagles Esports, they have to break this.
They broke it once already right at the start of the hill, but now that there's kind of a solidified setup here and spawns into the favor of SEU, this is when the hill is going to be a lot tougher to break. And Relk is still 8-0, yet to die here. Just putting up some unreal numbers in these hard points so far today.
Like, okay, yeah, Crook is 15-11, but Relk hasn't died again. Like, these starts to the hard points are so crucial for him. He's just able to get away with so much, looking for 9, but can't find Suzuki off in the distance. Now, what was a tie game now, 120-67. We're heading back over to the docks here in hill number 5. Eagles Esports, once again, going to be the first ones here. Can they hold off the aggression? But Thresh, he spawns up in the back. In the southern jungle now, is forcing Eagles Esports to double back, find him, but still tearing away at the back line. Finally going to go down, but in a lot of time here for Eagles Esports. A lot of much needed time, Jesse.
And unfortunately for him, because SEU was still on the left side, they were kind of blocking the spawn there. So actually, the opponent that he just killed in towards that back jungle spawns up West Beach and just gets him behind him anyways and gets to kill him. Unfortunately, it's just very tough for him. He was making the right plays. Just team just not able to get anywhere near this hill, and it just kind of feels like we're watching a raid hardpoint right now where it's just money hill after money hill being traded.
Well, Thresh burned his glide bomb. Crook has one of his own. You know, Relk has basically 2 streaks of his own in the back pocket. So after that Docks Hill, we're heading back to the rotation here in hill number 1, where Eon's going to be the first one here with this automaton raining down fire at range. You can see those yellow arrows grouping up to flood on in through that staircase. They got the pitch set up. Still can't get through Eons, though. Around the back line, the break is going to be there. Tessin gets into the mix and finally going to collect some time here. 137 to 108. We're going to pull this one back, Jesse.
And I'm not sure how he just fell there, but Relic finds the wall bang.
He just killed him with the stun direct impact.
Was that what that was?
Oh, my.
That is some craziness right there. Did he just
back
call
to the bingo card
on top of him as well? Oh, he absolutely did.
He is looking to take this down. Has the knife, ready to get into a blitz down low. This stretch takes down Testin, keeping the time flowing for SEU Blue, and they're there on rotation as well. A big 1-on-1 for Crook. The rotation battle is secured, and Just to make matters worse, they still have streaks to work with. A glide bomb in the hand of Crook, and he's on a streak again, looking to lock them down as they rotate into this hill.
And Crook has been the big difference maker for me. From the last series we saw SEU play to this series, a much better series for him. 22 and 15 as well in this game. Really turning up here. And just really helping his team kind of come out on top. And I believe Relic just found another glide bomb. He used his first one, correct?
He did. He's stacking those streaks right now. Finally, Eagles get the break for the remaining 30 seconds. Can they hold on? That's the big question. As Relic around the side is going to get blasted with that. Lines up 2 for the transition. 3 in a row with Count and Thrash, and that's going to be immediate break back in for the scraps.
Now West Beach, the next hill, and you can see on this little map that we're seeing from the glide bomb coming in, Eagles, they want to be the first team there. And it looks like they're going to choose to try to hold this one from the left side this time. Last time through, they wanted to hold it from the right. It just didn't work out for them against SEU. And now SEU, they'll be the team kind of fighting from the disadvantaged side.
Eons and Crook was in the back line. They got handled with care. The time now getting, you got north-south spawns right now on the mini-map. Relic looking to get in behind the strafing run. The bombing run's gonna be here. A team kill onto Crook. This is why you don't call it bombing runs, people. No. I find it kills more teammates than it does kill enemies.
Yeah, the bombing runs absolutely go rogue in this game.
Ooh, this one's gonna be nasty.
As I say, you better get rid of that player early on, otherwise that bombing run's gonna come back around and you might end up falling.
Oh, here's round number 3, the bombing run. Well, who's it gonna find this time around? Oh,
I thought it just killed Eons. I was about to lose it.
I thought it was about to go through the whole team, but 220 to 160, all streaks out of the hands of Crook when it comes to the top half. He did overlap to another glide bomb from a previous one, so Eagles now down by a whole 60. They need to play this perfect. They can claw this back with one single hard point, but it has to be perfect. Like I said, they take care of business. They find 3 in a row now. We're going to keep this going.
The overextension coming through right now. It's a big one-on-one on the right-hand side. Eons, if he can take this gunfight and take this win, they could really influence the spawns, because you can see he was already spawning 2 of the players out, and it actually opened up the front for the rest of the SEU players to try to be able to get in, and they have broken in.
SEU can close this out. Are they going to be ready for the flank from the back? Contention's going to be inbound. Relic around the corner. A TK out of Eagles is going to make this a little bit harder. Still in the kill column is going to be coming through, but Relic has just been playing ring around the rosy, and it looks like nobody is going to be able to touch. So SEU Blue are going to go up in the series 2-1.
And it's just the thorn in the side of Eagles Esports. They just can't seem to put away a hard point right now. They were right in that game the entire way through. They did a great job trading off hills, much closer than what we saw in Berlin. But I gotta be honest now that we go towards a Bacage hardpoint as our 4th map, it is going to be a very fast-paced map like what we've seen throughout any Bacage hardpoint. And it's such a slay-heavy map that I just don't know if the Eagles Esports can really keep up with the slaying factor on the side of SEU Blue.
I mean, they had it going, Jesse, for a little bit there. It was a tie game for actually quite a while. It's just when the rotation battles are losing, when you have so many slippery players on St. Edward's University, it's just eventually they find their way in, and then they just start taking over because they're so fast, and Eagles just can't keep up to that pacing.
Yeah, and it kind of feels like not only is it that they can't really keep up with the pacing, but that they can't really keep up with just the constant reinforcement onto hills and just what's the word I'm looking for? They get like such a good ability to pop off on any player on SEU, and I think that's just something that Eagles, they just don't seem to have right now on their side.
Well, SEU 1 round away from pushing themselves into the lower finals to secure 3rd place here in the CCL Vanguard Open. We're going to go to a break, and we'll be right back with map number 4. We are back, folks, with the CCL Vanguard Open. We're heading into map number 4 for our hard point. Up 2-1 is SCU over Eagles Esports here in the lower semifinals. And as I stated prior to the break, this is for money. This is $250 secured for yourself if you do make it into the lower finals, and just a chance to push that to a little bit extra, Jesse.
Well, Colin, remember before the break when I said that I really think this map favors SEU Blue over the likes of Eagles Esports? Let me remind you guys what the score was the last time these two teams played on this map.
Let's hear
It's a 250 to 55 game for SEU Blue. They absolutely blew them out of the water. This is a map that I can really see favoring SEU against, honestly, most teams. This is just, it's such a fast-paced map, and when all four of their players are slaying out to their full potential, it's going to be very tough to take this map off of these guys.
Well, seems like they struggle against the hard points of SEU Blue. Heading into Bocage, very heavy Slay presence going to be shown here. I'm looking at Chappas and Suzy Q, who already opened the game with 2 kills of their own. This courtyard is going to be heavily contested. Let's see how these two teams can work around this and try to secure this spacing. Suzy Q's tearing things up in the back line, looking to pull things back. Already 4 kills in the column for himself. Playing for those streaks, Jesse. That's 4 down in a row. Finally, somebody's going to drop. And Suzy Q just trying to stay alive, keep a presence in the back line.
I was going to say they finally break the spawns, but it just doesn't, like, yes, they're spawning on the other side, but Relic's still staying alive back here. He might just be able to flip these spawns back, and he absolutely does. One of the players is going to spawn on him at least. He finds a kill. The other 2 players spawn out, so now a pinch opportunity develops over the middle of the map. Scrap time should go their way, and with them continuing to spawn up in the back here, they might even just be able to turn this into initial time at P2.
Well, Eagles Esports, they are going to have the respawns in the bottom left column of the mini maps. They're going to go right back up, take care of a stall, look to work their way into these tanks. The kills come through, 2 for SEU Blue, but 2 the other way around. So still presence here from either side. Nobody can be collecting time. Still trying to slay their way through their opponents. That's 3 in a row, but is it enough? You know, Bocage, it's going to be hard to lock things down. And finally, Eagles getting a few kills their way. They should be able to get some time off that.
I mean, if they hold their meter this time, they'll already beat what they got the last time they played SEU on this map. And I mean, they look a lot better so far throughout this game than I'm sure they did in that map where they lost 250 to 55. And yeah, really starting to run the score up into their favor, 41-9 off the rip here. SEU just really hasn't been able to get anything going. Thresh is 1-7, just very uncharacteristic out of him.
Yes, it is. Looking to heat on up now. Looking at the rotations over to the house, Jesse. As SEU Blue, they're going to be the first ones here, but keep your eyes on Tessin on your screen right now, making the hot flank around. Going to be the big difference maker right now, and if the break's going to be successful or not. And when the kills come through, losing out the frontline battle, but finally Tessin strikes into the mix. You can see SEU Blue in a panic, looking to take him on down. Dashi's going to come through. The pinch is out. 3 kills go their way, and that's a 4th from Suzy Q, but I got only 3. Misinterpreted that whole thing. Finally finding the last one, so there's gonna be a lot of time soaked up for Eagles trying to keep their lead going, Jesse.
That's a great play, to just push into hedges and just wait for your teammates to take the gunfights across. Any kill that you get in that situation only helps spawn the rest of the team out, and you spawn up really close to the hill because of your teammates' positioning, and that's just a beautiful break from the back from these SEU players, and it's definitely making their lives a lot harder here in this game. I don't think SEU knows what to do right now. They are being hit with a different force coming from this Eagles team.
And they flipped the spawns, Jesse. So they're going to be the first ones over to Barn.
They absolutely are, and this is where they can really start to kind of pull this game out of reach. If Eagles can put together another 45 to 60 seconds here on this hill, this is when SEU might start to get a little worried.
Well, SEU is starting to get a little bit of fire underneath them. A couple kills go their way. Kadeshin inside of this hill. It seems like SU are going to be packing their things, looking to overextend alongside the tank side, but losing players fast. Only 2 players to siege this one out into the hill. They go. Eons for 2. And the break is afoot. Still on spawns, though. Eagles Esports looking to reinforce this hill right away. That's exactly what they're going to do, but SU off of spawns of their own. Just keeping them on their toes. Maintaining this hill, though. Eagles Esports impressing me here on Bocage.
They are impressing me as well. This is a very good start to this game from them. But let's not forget SEU. They can really turn it up at any point. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it happen at some point here. We're heading towards the river hard point. They do seem to be in favor of the spawns right now. And I think they just kind of got trapped through this first set of rotations that a lot of teams that it happens to is they just kind of start over-challenging old hills, and they don't focus on rotation. So I think if SEU wants to bring this back, they need to start focusing more on their rotations.
Well, first one's into the hill. It's not accounted for Suzy to be underneath. Testin swaps her on the back. They lose out on 3. Last player remaining is going to make his way to the hill. That's Thresh from up top. Gonna collect a little bit of this time, but only for a short amount. SEU looking to mitigate this damage right now on this hill 5, looking to scrap themselves back as they have presence at this hill. No, Suzy Q, another 3 in a row. That's 4 down to get back into this. 20 seconds left on this hill, and Eagles just keep on maintaining their hill presence.
Let's not forget the Eagles yet to drop a search and destroy to SEU in this tournament. So if they are able to win this if they're able to win this hard point out and get towards a search and destroy, they absolutely put themselves in the favor of being able to take this series. It all lies down on this hard point.
Well, we said it ourselves. They only need 1. And this is their opportunity now. 131-44 heading into the second set of rotations. Eagles Esports have triumphed in the first set. This is always going to be a scrappy one, so SEU just looking to pull themselves back in the slang, try to slow down the Eagles. That's exactly what we're seeing. Hopping in there for a little bit of time, though. SEU surrounding themselves up here. Do have the tank spawns over on the wheel side. Yeah, the wheel side. So they're going to have to traverse their way all the way across, Jesse, if they want to maintain this rotation from Hill 1 to Hill 2, but you still have the spawns backstalled for Eagles Esports. It's going to be a tough one.
But this is a good start, though. At the very least, for SEU, you're getting a good chunk of time here on P1. A hill that normally getting a good amount of time on is very, very tough. Thresh also has a glide bomb here, so breaking this P2 spawn the second time through, it might be a little bit easier for them.
Another 3 down. Make it 4. Suzy Q lining him up and putting him down. 27 and 15 here on Bokash Hardpoint. Already looking a lot better than map number 1 now that they're heated up here. The rotations out from SEU Blue. Eon's going to be soaking up a few times for a little bit. Grylek to take up his mantle. And you see on the opposite side, the blue arrows are going to be here to set up on these power positions, waiting for the retake to come through from Eagle Esports. And here it comes. Players flooding on in through that barn, setting up for the kills. But they're walking right into the crossfire. And SEU, are they going to be ready for that? Because Kylie and Suzy Q just found the opening and pried themselves back into that hill.
Now, SEU, I think you take one more shot at this, and if you don't get it here, you need to start sending players on rotations. You guys got beat very badly, and that's why the score got opened up so much on the last set of rotations, was because Eagles not only were able to get a good chunk of time here on P2, but they flipped the spawns on P3. They were able to get into a great position on P3 to really shut it down, and look at the flank play coming in once again. Testin trying to get into a sneaky spot.
Thresh sees nobody, so Testin undetected, putting some pressure onto the front line. They managed to hold off for now. 3 kills settled out of that. But look at the spawns. Eagles Esports, they're going to get right back into this as they are spawning into that tank area. So the Kadeshin's going to come through at 45 seconds. A lot of time to be had here. It's this big gunfight, and that's 4 down instantly.
It's a great 4 down. Exactly what they need. And, oh, baby. Colin, I'm smelling a tie game at the end of this hill if they hold on to the remainder of this time.
Somebody, Thresh just got a glide bomb, too, so you gotta be keeping your eyes on these players as they're starting to heat up for SEU Blue. You know they want this. You know they have the potential to come back. And now that they have clawed their way back into this, like you said, this could be even if they come out with the rest of this time, and they are set up for success.
Well, I think they know just as well as we know that whoever wins this hardpoint very likely wins the series here. And SEU Blue, they don't want to go down without a fight. And that is a lot of streaks onto the side of SEU Blue as they start to heat up. Crux on 7. You know Thresh has at least that glide bomb. And Thresh, who at one point started this game off, I think he was like triple negative at one point. Now, 22 and 20, absolutely, they've brought this game back, and we should see a lead change here soon.
1 and 7, this is a big turnaround for himself. 161, we're going to see a lead change in a moment. Eagles Esports, how are they going to make their way in this, especially losing out on these streaks? Now, they let SEU into the game, and now they are blowing it open. 4 down again. You look at the yellow arrows, they're trying to panic their way back into the site, but they need to be behind Suzy Q, who is slowed down monumentally into this game. 38 and 22 now. Definitely not putting up the numbers that we saw in the first set of rotations. Now that SEU closing out on this barn hill, you're heading over to hill number 5, which all of these streaks could make it a very tough time for Eagles Esports.
And SEU just turning it up here. And you're not wrong at all. This is where you're going to see all of these streaks be invested from all of these players. Production just came into my ear just to remind us. Not only did he start triple negative, like I said, Thresh started this game 1 and 12, now 23 and 20. Now 27 and 22. A monumental turnaround.
And they're keeping it going now, 199 to 165, folks. We are seeing a breakdown on Bokash Hardpoint. They're flooding into the Slaughterfest, and let's see these kills come through. SEU are going to line them up, but Chopper does slip the difference. Here's the strafing run, keeping that time out of the hands of Eagles Esports. Relic's going to put themselves right back into it. And can they break? They cannot. That's 3 the other way. Looking to siege them on out, and as soon as one person floods on in, there's somebody on the cross. They're going to get so close to putting this map away.
Yeah, they can't win it here, but they can get what, to right around 15 seconds from putting it away. Hill 1, it will be a little bit tough to be able to do it on unless they're able to zone it the way that they were able to in the last set of rotations. Otherwise, you don't normally see a big chunk of time here get earned on this hill.
This is do or die for Eagles Esports. It's win or go home here. 235 to 171. Bokash Hardpoint. Can you give us a game 5? Is ran back into this courtyard for the hill number 3. Eagles Esports slaying around the lanes, but so are SEU trying to maintain some sort of presence onto the map and deny this time inside the courtyard. And so far, so good for Eagles Esports. Still 30 seconds left onto this hill, and they're keeping SEU out of it.
And if the Eagles can survive on this hill, their best hill by far in this map has been P2. They've gotten the majority of the time there. I think SEU has maybe gotten 15 seconds through our first 2 sets of rotation. So goal number 1 right now for Eagles Esports, you just need to survive these last 10 seconds of this hill.
You gotta contest! Eons, he's going so huge, he finds another one-on-one, 5 seconds left, nobody can touch, only 1 needed, the break's gonna come through at the last second. What is happening right now? Eagles Esports, they get off for 1 second, and SEU shut the door on Bokash Hardpoint. A big comeback, a breakdown for Eagles Esports, and they make it happen. SEU punch their ticket to top 3.
Oh, baby. SEU, 3 hard points again. Almost a pitcher and pitcher matchup when you look at this series and the series that these 2 teams played yesterday in winners round 1. Exact same maps come on through. I mean, outside of the search and destroy and the Gavitu hard point. Outside of those 2 maps, the exact same maps in this series. At SEU Blue, again, just take all 3 hard points. They run away with the hard points against Eagles Esports. But Eagles Esports, I mean, they did not go down without a fight. That last map there, they had a very, very big lead. But as soon as they gave SEU an inch, SEU took a mile, and they just stormed back into that one.
They kept their foot in the door the whole time, Jesse. They just needed one chance, and they found that opportunity, and they seized everything they ever wanted in that map, and they closed it out over Eagles Esports. Now, in that top 3, I want to head over to the prizing now and check things out, because now that we're down to 3 teams, this is where the money matters, Jesse. So let's take a look at the prizing, see exactly what we're playing for in the last 3 teams. A $2,500 prize pool. First team gets $1,500, second team $700, third place team $250. So this is where Eagles Esports have dropped out, and now the likes of SEU Blue can start making their run for the big bucks.
And I mean, now that you've made your way here, you guarantee yourself $250. I mean, you can't complain about that. You're at a college COD tournament. $250 you're walking away with? That's a great time. But now, you know, SEU Blue, they want their revenge. They get a rematch now. Can they do what Eagle Esports couldn't do? Can they take down ASU Maroon?
Can they take down that demon in their closet right now? We're going to head to a break. When we come back, fresh faces on the desk. You're going to be watching I Hold Shift and McCorn Meal. Don't go anywhere. Things are heating up here.